It is largely a reprise from what the president sent to the so-called super committee, which was a super failure, with more debt-financed investments, if you will. Now, the president is putting certain things on the table, like, for example, Medicare and Medicaid reductions, but he's not specific enough. He's not talking about transformational tax reforms. He's not talking about reconsidering our promises in health care, because we've way overpromised. He's not putting Social Security on the table. You know, he's way short of cutting the budget deficit in half by the end of his first term, if you will. And so what we need, quite frankly, is we need to be more truthful with the American people that it is going to take more revenues. We're going to have to renegotiate the social insurance contract and do a number of
when you
things.
talk about being truthful, it's set up as this false choice, at least in my opinion. We can't do austerity now. That would hurt the economy, and right now we need to grow the economy. But when you talk about overpromising in health care, you can make long-term changes now that don't hurt the economy now. You can do a lot of things that help the budget if you made changes when it comes to people's incentives and choices in the long term that have nothing to do with helping or hurting the economy now.
Do you think that right now, politically, it is palatable to make those changes? Can Obama actually do that and actually get any type of bipartisan support, realistically? This is not a defense of what he's doing. I'm just saying we're at this moment. Here we are.
We're not going to see any significant tax, social insurance, or other reforms before the election. We're not. But understand what this is. This is the president's proposed budget. It should have been much more specific, much more substantive than it is, all right? At the same point in time, who's responsible for passing a budget? The Congress. The Congress hasn't passed a budget in over 1,000 days and counting. Guess how many years in the last 60 years that Congress has passed appropriations bills on time? 4 out of 60 years. And even when it passes a budget and appropriations bills on time, you know how much of the budget it controls? 38% and declining. You can't run a family this way. You can't run a business this way. We can't run our country this way. We need dramatic and fundamental reforms. We need more leadership from the president, and we need leaders of Congress to start